Bennett.
What do you want?
Did I have any visitors yesterday?
Why ask me?
Did my family visit me and get sent away?
If anyone came, you would have heard. Now get moving. You too, Smith.
Do you think she's lying?
Nah. If your kids had been sent away, she couldn't have resisted rubbing it in. You would have heard it from old Vera, all right.
What could have happened?
Well, maybe your mother's just feeling a bit off. You'll see him next week, sure as eggs.
Oh, you don't know my mother. Feeling a bit off wouldn't stop her. She knows how I look forward to seeing the kids.
That's funny. She didn't stop at Rosie's cell.
Think she's all right? She's very quiet.
Well, that makes a change.
Well, maybe they gave her a sedative to quieten her down. She could still be asleep.
And maybe they've left the poor little mole to rot. She could have damaged herself the way she was carrying on. She's gone.
Don't die. There's an ambulance coming. Hold on.
It just collapsed.
The ambulance is on its way.
Well, look, can I leave you to it? I've got to catch my
I'm
bus.
afraid not. You're under arrest, Miss Constable.
Well, what do you reckon happened to Rosie?
The word is she's been taken to the psychiatric hospital.
Rotten bastards.
That poor kid.
What are you lot hanging around for?
When's Rosie coming out of the funny farm, Miss Bennett?
She isn't.
What, never?
No. Now get a move on before I put you all on report.
Those bastards.
Yeah, sent it right around the twist.
Well, that's the last flaming straw. And what hope have any of us got in this dump?
No hope. That's what we all are. A bunch of no-hopers.
I reckon we've been pussyfooting around long enough. I know screws think they can do what they like with us. We'll show them what we think of them.
Well, there's no need for violence, Bea. Now, Ross showed us how to put Chrissy in her place by just ignoring her. Oh, there's always more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, I could skin Vera, I'd be satisfied.
But Ross's way did work.
Well, Ross is gone. And I got my own way of doing things, and that's the way they're going to be done. And the screws can like it or lump it.
I reckon they'll lump it.
Hi, Sarge.
G'day, young Alex. How's the old man? I haven't seen him down the pub for a couple of weeks.
No, Mum's been complaining a bit about him going out too much, so he's pulled his head in for a while.
Anything for peace, eh?
Too right, but can't keep a good man down for long.
Very true. Hey, how's that reporting job of yours been going?
Pretty good. Been promoted.
Yeah?
Not doing court reporting anymore. They've put me onto human interest stories. Now I need a good one to impress the editor.
There should be plenty of that around, I would think. Anything we can do to help?
Well, yes, I thought you might have something in that line for me. Anything interesting happening around here?
Well, little old pensioner lost her purse a couple of days ago.
I think I need something a bit more meatier than that.
Well, we are questioning a young girl at the moment. Pretty kid.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Escapee from Wentworth, I think.
How'd you get onto her? A tip-off or what?
Oh, look, Alex, you know I can't give the information to the press without clearance from upstairs.
Oh, come on, Riley, give us a break.
I can't, mate, I can't.
There was one escaped a couple of days ago. Coulson, that's it. Was it her?
I can't make a statement yet. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough. I'll call back later then.
Good idea.
All right, see you then.
I'll tell your dad to go AWOL and have a drink with me tomorrow night.
Will do.
Desk. All right, Don. I'll phone Mrs. Davidson at Wentworth now and inform her we've caught the escapee. Rosalind Coulson, was it? Right.
What are we gonna do, Bea?
Oh, I don't know. But I think it's something. Something good.
Something real bad, you mean? Oh, Pat, have you heard from your mum yet?
No. Look, I can't understand it. There must be some reason why she hasn't brought the kids in to see me.
Oh, the screws probably wouldn't let them in.
Well, Vera said I'd have been told if they'd turned up.
Vera? You couldn't trust her as far as you could throw her.
Over the roof, that's where I'd like to throw her.
Pity Martha didn't do it that time when she had her up there.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Take him off the roof and shove him off one by one.
That'd be really something. Oh, but not Mrs. Jackson. She's all right.
Why not? She's a screw, isn't she? That's good enough. She'd go over the rest of them.
Oh, no, you don't want to do things like that now. Not with Christmas coming up.
Christmas? Now, what bloody difference does Christmas make in here?
Oh, I love Christmas, Bee. We usually do a play.
A play? What, some sort of Christmas pageant?
You gotta be kidding. What we do is we show the screws what we think of them.
We always take the mickey out of them. Last year I played Vera.
Look at old Vinegar's face, almost made up having to spend Christmas in here.
Are you going to do another one this year?
We could, but we'd have to get cracking.
Oh, but who'd write it? Took us enough time putting last year's together, and I can't think of any more stuff.
I could. I'll write it, and it'll be the best play yet.
There's some material in the nursery we could use for making costumes.
Well, you better make it good, Lizzie. Show those bastards up for what they really are.
How do you spell brothel?
Hey, what are you going to say about us?
No, not about us. It's about the brothel where Vera's mother used to work.
That's the stuff.
And Smith will use the situation with Hudson to stir up trouble amongst the other women. They're in an ugly mood.
Well, that's understandable, I suppose.
Well, I don't like it. Something ought to be done about it.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, Smith is obviously the ringleader, as usual. If we put her in solitary, things will simmer down a bit.
Has Smith done anything to warrant being put into solitary?
No, but I think she should be locked up before she does.
What's your opinion, Mr. Fletcher?
Well, the women are a bit stroppy, but I don't think it'll amount to anything.
You can't be certain.
I'm certain that if you put Smith into solitary, it'd be like lighting a short fuse. Now, the women will settle down if we don't make an issue of their attitude. I think we should just ignore it.
We can't bury our heads in the sand because we think it's the easy way out. We'll regret it later.
I don't think that either Mr. Fletcher or I can be accused of burying our heads in the sand. I think you should give the women a little more leeway, Miss Bennet. They're not upset without reason. And as Mr. Fletcher says, we can't provide the spark that's going to set them off. Now, if that is all...
This is for you, Mrs. Davidson, Sergeant McGuinness.
Thank you. Erica Davidson speaking. I see. Yes, that will be fine. We'll be expecting her then. Goodbye. Rosalind Coulson has been recaptured. The van's on its way. She should be here any minute.
Is she to be put in solitary?
Of course.
Well, there's no way we can keep that news from the women for long. It won't improve their tempers.
We can burn TV, radio, newspapers. That ought to stop them finding out for a while.
No, that will only increase their resentment. Besides, if they think something's going on, they seem to be able to find out whatever they want to.
Yeah, well, maybe we could get them interested in something.
Yes, if they're interested in some reasonable activity, by all means encourage them. I'll leave that to you, Mr. Fletcher. I really must go. I have an appointment at 3.
Yes, Mr. Davidson.
What are we? Nursemaids?
Oh, what do you want to do, Vera? Stampede the women into a riot?
Excuse me. I'd like to see Mrs. Davidson, please.
That's her now.
Oh, great, thanks.
Ted?
Mrs. Davidson?
Yes?
Now, that was Rosalind Coulson in the paddy wagon, wasn't it?
Who are you?
Alex Fraser. I'm a reporter with the...
I'm sorry, I have nothing to say.
I'm not a news reporter. I'm doing a human interest story. If you could just tell me a little about her. Apparently, it was an act of kindness that led to her recapture.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I can't help you. Good day.
It's all your fault she got caught. It's just like you lagged on her.
I didn't lag on anyone.
Well, you might as well have kicking her out into the streets. It's the same thing, I reckon.
Doreen, I told you why she couldn't stay here. The whole halfway house project would have been ruined, and you and I would have lost our paroles.
Well, if that's what a halfway house does, teach people to shop on their friends, then it'd be a good thing if it did close down.
Can't I make you see what
I can't see nothing, except that Ros came here for help and you kicked her out. And in my book, that makes you a rotten bitch.
Oh, the governor wouldn't even talk to me. How does a reporter get a story when no one talks to him?
Well, perhaps you don't push hard enough.
Well, I can't force people to give me information.
No, but I reckon if you meet a dead end in one direction, you try another.
Well, I would if I knew which direction to try. Look, you must be able to give me a lead, Sarge. They took a statement from her when they picked her up, didn't they? Did they manage to find out where she was staying while she was out?
No, she was pretty tight-lipped about that.
They must have some suspicions as to where she was hiding.
All I can say, if I wanted some information about a Wentworth prisoner, I'd ask a few questions down at that place in Elizabeth Street. Halfway house or something they call it. Run by Mrs. Travers. She's only been out a few months herself.
I reckon that's where the Coulson girl's been.
I didn't say that. I just reckon it might help if you had a word with the Travers woman. If you want a human interest story, I reckon she could tell one.
You're a great bloke, Rolly.
Me? I'm just a close-mouthed cop. Now, don't you forget it.
Oh, you haven't told me a thing. Look, I won't even mention you in my story.
You'd better not. Now, get the hell out of here and let me get on with my work.
Okay.
First time in ages they show us an early movie and the telly goes on the blink. Wouldn't it slay you?
Typical.
Yeah, and it was Errol Flynn, too. My dream boy.
Oh, a bit before our time, Lizzie.
Yeah? Well, better than them long-haired drongos you go in for these days.
What? Better than Robert Redford?
Come on, you lot, get to work. Come on, quick.
Oh, God, someone give him a whip. Oh, this place is going to the pack. First the wires in here, then the telly. Now my tranny's fading away to nothing.
What are you doing, Lizzie?
Huh? I'm writing a play.
You what?
Yeah, I'm writing a play. Our Christmas play. We write one every year. Mrs. Davidson lets us get on with it if things are a bit slack in here.
You mean you write a play and then you put it on?
Yeah, we're very good, too.
Last year's was terrific.
Yeah.
Was it ever?
I can manage the sheets while Lizzie's writing, Mr. Fletcher.
All right, Lizzie, you can write. Probably be worth seeing, eh?
Yeah, I reckon you'll find it real interesting.
Mr. Fletcher, have you heard any news of my parole yet?
You know you won't be informed until the last minute, O'Connell.
Oh, what's wrong with this damn thing?
Let's have a look. Your batteries are flat.
Can't be. I put new ones in a couple of days ago. Here, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? First the wireless going, then the telly, and now my tranny on the blink. You're not trying to keep something from us, are you, Fletch?
Just get on with your work, Smith.
Well, I thought so. Well, we'll find out what it is, one way or another. We always do, you know.
Very well. Let's go over it again. Where did you go when you were on the outside?
Around.
Where'd you sleep?
In parks and bus sheds.
Wherever I could.
Somebody must have helped you.
Nobody helps anyone in this world.
How do you know Frank Heath?
I told you I don't know him. I've only heard of him.
Ah, yes, that's right. Well, how did you hear of him?
He runs the massage place my mother was involved with.
And you've never met him?
No.
He says he's met you.
Well, then he's lying.
I see. You've met Karen Travers.
Yes, I met her in here. Once.
How's she getting on now?
How would I know?
Well, you must have visited her during your little holiday.
Oh, why would I do that? I told you I only met her once.
You're good friends with Doreen Anson, aren't you?
Yes.
She lives with Karen Travers.
Does she?
She's sorry you got caught.
Yeah, I guess she would be.
She said to tell you she tried her best for you.
To do what?
To cover for you.
Funny thing to say. I never even saw her.
You're obviously a very intelligent girl, Miss Coulson.
Thank you.
But you're being very foolish right now.
Well, I don't know what you mean. I've told you all I can.
I've got a few more leads to follow up. And if I discover you've been withholding anything, Miss Coulson, it'll go severely against you. All right, Mrs. Jackson, take it away.
Can you tell me anything about that old man? The one who collapsed?
I don't know anything about him. Tougher than she looks. Just as well for her mates. If our information is correct, that halfway house is in dead trouble.
way.
And I'm going back to solitary.
You have to have a medical check first.
Why? Do you think I picked something up in the massage parlour?
It's only routine. Everyone has a medical check when they come in. You remember you had one the first time?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Dr. Miller, Colson has to have a medical check. She should have had it yesterday, but you'd already gone.
Oh, hell yes, the duty officer told me. It'll have to be quick. I've got patients waiting at the surgery.
Can I have a word with you?
Can't you wait?
No, I don't think it can.
I'll be with you in a moment, Rosalind. What is it?
Rosalind's just been questioned by the detectives.
Yes?
Well, they mentioned Karen Travers. Now, I've an idea they think she might have helped her when she was on the outside.
Oh, Karen wouldn't have been stupid enough to have done that.
I don't know. But Rosalind accidentally dropped some information about a place she was obviously at. Now, she might do it again. Or they might pressure her into saying something she doesn't want to. If Karen did help her, that would be the end of her parole.
Yes.
Well, I just thought you ought to know. I'll be back for Rosalind in 15 minutes.
Meg. Thanks.
Yes?
This is the Sally Lee halfway house.
Yes, that's right. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, I'm a reporter. I'm hoping to do a story on Rosalind Coulson.
Well, you've come to the wrong place. I don't know anything about her apart from what I've read in the papers.
Oh, I just want to know that if...
Look, I believe she's been recaptured. Why don't you try Wentworth Prison?
What do you want to know about Ross?
Shut up, Doreen. Get back inside.
I think you might find someone else around asking about Rosalind Coulson.
What are you talking about?
I think the police feel you may be able to help them with some information.
I hope you don't intend printing that.
No, I wouldn't make things awkward for you, so maybe if you'll just speak to me.
I'm sorry. Not right now. Some other time, perhaps.
Yes, well... Goodbye.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
What?
Do you want reporters crawling all over the house? Papers saying that we're harbouring fugitives from the law and that sort of rubbish?
Well, I reckon it'd serve you right if it got in the papers that Ros was here.
Don't be so stupid, Doreen. They'd slap you back inside so fast you wouldn't know what hit you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't care if they did. Anyway, it's not my neck you're worried about, it's your own. Yeah, well, it'd serve you right if someone dobbed you in, then you'd know what it feels like.
Oh, Greg's coming round the back, Doreen. Open the door for him, will you?
It's not locked.
Coming!
It's open.
Hi.
Hello. How are you, ladies?
Fine.
And you, Doreen? Have you had any, visitors lately?
Oh, no, not really.
Yes, we did. A reporter. A real spunk he was, too.
A reporter?
Yeah, and he went for Karen in a real big way. You could see it. You better watch out, Doc, that she doesn't run out on you. She's real good at that sort of thing.
Don't take any notice of her. She's not too keen on me at the moment.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. She's just in a bad mood or something.
What did this reporter want?
He wanted to talk about Rosalind Coulson.
Well, why should he come here?
Well, I suppose he figured that Doreen and Rosalind knew one another in Wentworth. He's not going to print anything, though. He seemed quite pleasant, really. Didn't make a nuisance of himself or anything.
He may not be the only visitor you get inquiring about Rosalind Coulson. You may get a visit from the police.
Yes, I know.
Was Rosalind here, Karen?
What if she was?
You know damn well that it would stop your parole. How can he be so stupid as to let her stay
I
here?
didn't say she stayed here. Don't go jumping to conclusions.
They're the same conclusions that the police are going to jump to. I'd be very careful what I said to them if I were you. I also wouldn't go talking to any reporters, no matter how attractive they find you. You say one word out of place, and that story's going to be on the front of some scandal sheet.
I'm not a complete idiot.
I just want to make you see what...
You don't have to make me see. Now, please, just mind your own business.
All right, Karen. There's obviously no point in talking to you at the moment. If you need my help, you know where to find me.
Huh. Here, what's this? Whole front page of the paper's missing.
Well, you were right, Bea. They are trying to hide something from us.
Hey, Fletch, I hear you got someone in the pound. Who is it? We'll find out.
Hey, how do you spell obnoxious?
Oh, good, I don't know. Why don't you just put screws instead? And here comes the postie.
Nothing for you, Smith, as usual. Leach. White. Birdsworth.
Oh, probably from Door. Tar.
Isn't there one for me, Miss Bennett?
No, there isn't. Your family must have had better things to do.
Bitch.
Well, what is it?
Have they found out about Coulson?
No, not yet. It's very convenient, both the telly and radio breaking down at the same time.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably just as well. Still, I'll have to find out eventually.
We can avoid it for as long as possible.
Yeah, give them time to get over this business with Rosie. That's why I'm hoping this play idea will take their mind off it for a bit.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I think it should be stopped.
Why? Seems harmless enough.
Harmless? They use those nasty little plays to get back at us.
Well, send us up a bit, you mean? Well, we can take that, as long as they don't get too personal.
They rake up all the muck they can.
Well, still, the script has to be approved by Mrs. Davidson. She won't let them get away with too much.
She's nowhere near strict enough. Anyway, I'm not prepared to put up with it. If I can find a way of stopping this play, I will.
More news in an hour or two, Bill. Right now, sit back with more music.
I remembered where the old batteries were. Kept them cosy because there was still a bit of life left in them. Enough for us to hear the news, anyway.
Yeah. It's poor old Ros you got locked in the pound, isn't it?
Doreen, these gentlemen are detectives.
Miss Anderson, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So you're reading about Rosalind Coulson.
So what?
That's a pretty innocent-looking girl. Difficult to believe she's a hardened criminal.
Well, there's nothing hard about Ros. She's terrific.
Really? How do you know that?
Doreen and Rosalind knew each other in Wentworth.
Yes, but prison does things to people. She could have changed.
Oh, no, she hasn't.
Doreen's only been out a short time. People don't change that much.
And you and Coulson were good friends, were you?
Oh, yeah. Me and Ros, we were great mates.
It's different once you're out. You tend to lose contact with your friends on the inside. I'm making a cup of coffee. Would you gentlemen like one?
No, thanks, Mrs. Travers. What I would like is to speak to Miss Anderson alone, if you wouldn't mind.
No, I don't want her to.
And why is that, Miss Anderson?
Well, Doreen's a bit tense about being alone with men at the moment. It's probably a reaction from being locked up with women for so long.
Yeah, if Karen goes out, I'll just scream and scream.
Surely you must understand that's one of the effects that prison has on women. Anyway, I don't know what we'd be able to tell you.
Well, I've heard that Rosalind Coulson came here after she escaped.
What a crazy thing to have heard.
Did she come here, Mrs. Travers?
Oh, no, of course not. You don't think I'd jeopardize my parole by harboring an escapee, do you?
Very well, then. Thank you for talking to us. You'll be seeing us again. In the meantime, why don't you give it a bit of thought? It might be worth your while. Don't forget what I said, Mrs. Travers. We'll be back.
You nearly gave us away properly, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
Have you said anything to anyone? Anything that would make them think Ros was here?
Oh, well, I might have said something when I wrote to Lizzie.
What sort of something?
Well, nothing really.
Come on, Doreen, think. What, exactly?
Well, I was a bit crook on you, and I might have said that you cared more about your parole than looking after a mate and stuff like that.
I connect that with Ros.
No, they probably won't.
Of course they would. They're looking for anything the slightest bit suspicious. They'll question Ros, and if she lets anything slip, then we've all had it.
Oh, sorry you didn't welcome me back earlier, but the screw's been watching us like hawks. There aren't as many of them on night shift, though.
Yeah, we didn't even know you was back, but we heard it on the afternoon news.
Did they say anything about the man who had the heart attack?
Yeah, he died.
That's what you get for helping people.
What's that bloke got to do with it? I don't get the connection.
Oh, he just collapsed in front of me in the street. I should have just left him there and gone on, but like a silly idiot, I tried to help him.
What'd you do, dob you in or what?
This woman came along, said he was just a drunk. Well, I managed to persuade her to call an ambulance. At least I thought I did.
And then what happened?
She must have recognised my photo from the paper. She came back with the cops instead of an ambulance.
Oh, rotten bitch. Oh, and the old bloke's dead too.
And that's the last time I'm going to do anything to help anyone. From now on, it'll be number one. First, second and third. Everyone else can go to hell.
Oh, now, come on, love. We've all had it tough.
Yeah. Don't let it get to you, love. You're too young to get so hard.
I'm old enough to know that most people are pigs. And from now on, that's how I'll be treating them.
You realise, don't you, Coulson, that your escape will add at least 6 months onto your sentence?
I'm in here for life. What difference does 6 months make?
The term life no longer means for the rest of your life, as I'm sure you are aware. If you are prepared to behave yourself and cooperate in every way, you could be out of here in a few years' time.
Big deal.
I'm bitterly disappointed in you, Rosalind. I had thought of you as one of the more reasonable women, but your attitude seems to have undergone a drastic change.
I've just learned a few things about people, that's all.
Then I can only hope you'll settle down in the next few days.
I wouldn't count on it.
Well, you'll be spending a lot of time in solitary. I suggest you think about that. Coulson can work in the laundry, Miss Bennett.
Right.
Help Wordsworth fold the linen, and I'll have no more of your nonsense.
You're one of the world's beautiful people, Vera.
Shut up, Smith.
Oh, you've had a real hard time of it, haven't you, love? But never mind, you're back here now with all your old mates.
Could you get on with your work, Wordsworth, and keep quiet?
Why should I keep quiet? I don't fold sheets with me mouth.
Here, love, now you're back. Maybe you could give Lizzie a hand running her annual Christmas play.
Yeah, it's hard doing it all by myself and this lot not coming up with any good ideas.
Besides which, you can spell.
Well, it should be fun, Ros. We're going to make our own costumes and scenery and everything.
Yeah, what do you say, kid? Give it a go?
Sounds like a pretty silly idea to me. The sort of thing school kids would do.
Oh. It is not. It's our only chance to have our say in this dump.
I bet Vera remembers how much she enjoyed last year. And we're going to make sure it's twice as good this time.
You want to read this? There's some real spicy bits in here. This is going to make them sit up and take notice.
I'll have a look at that, Wordsworth. Bennett.
Could I have a word with you, please?
Perhaps Mum's arrived with me kids.
Keep this lot working. Hard.
Right. Well, go on. Get on with your work, the lot of you.
Well, do you want to look at this or don't you?
Just leave me alone. I can manage fine on my own. I don't have to have any help from anybody else.
You wanted to see me about something?
Oh, Detective Sergeant Allen just rang. He's very interested in anything relating to the halfway house.
Is he?
If any letters arrive from either Doreen or Karen, he has asked they be brought to me uncensored.
I always knew no good would come of that place.
The police could be quite wrong in their suspicions.
Anyway, the mail hasn't arrived today, but Wordsworth's had 2 letters from Anderson in the past few days.
I'd better read them.
I'll get them for you.
You did say you'd talk to me later.
That was before you shopped us to the police.
I didn't tell the police anything. If someone put you in, it wasn't me. I even tried to warn you they might be around, remember?
Look, I don't know anything. I don't know what Rosalind Coulson did when she was on the outside. The police are wrong. She didn't stay here.
That's not the sort of thing I'm after. Anyway, I'm more interested in the human side of things.
I don't want to talk about Rosalind Coulson at all.
I'm not just interested in her. I've been thinking about the halfway house and realised I could get a good story out of that and the women who come to it. Don't you think it's a good idea to let the public know exactly what a halfway house is really like and make them understand what you're trying to do here?
Yes, but I don't think this is a very good time for publicity.
Fair enough. But you will talk to me at a later date.
All right.
Look, that's my number. Give me a call as soon as you can. And, well, if you don't call me, I'll call you, okay? Bye.
Get rid of these. Right.
So you simply deny that Coulson was ever here?
Yes.
Yes.
I happen to know that you've been writing letters to prisoners at Wentworth. If I find one word in any of those letters that implies Coulson was here, I'll charge you for withholding information. Now, if you wish to avoid that happening, I suggest you tell me the truth right now.
She is telling you the truth.
Well?
I use the tradesman's.
Dr. Miller, what are you doing here?
I'm making a house call.
You a frequent visitor to this house?
Yes, quite frequent. I'm still treating Miss Anderson, as a matter of fact. Her nerves have been very bad since she left Wentworth. I hope she's not being put under too much pressure.
Only doing my job, Doctor. You'd know Rosalind Coulson by sight.
Yes, of course.
You ever seen her in this house?
No, I certainly have not. I've been calling here every day for the last week, as a matter of fact, and I've seen nothing to indicate that she might have been here.
Well, thank you, Doctor. That's all we need to know. Sorry to have troubled you.
Oh, that's all right, Inspector. Will you need to come again?
I shouldn't think so. Not unless anything else turns up. Good day. Lucky you showed up, Doctor.
I'll see you out.
Thank you.
Maureen, don't worry. It's all over now.
Yeah, but there's still the letter I wrote.
It'll probably be all right. Oh, Greg, thank you. I don't know what we would have done if you hadn't saved the day.
Well, I hope you're satisfied, Karen. Because of your stupidity in letting Coulson stay here, I've just had to lie my head off to the police.
But I sent her away as soon as I could.
She really did. It's my fault.
It doesn't matter whose fault it was. And from what Doreen just said about that letter, you're not out of the woods yet. I'm sorry, I failed to see how I can be of any further help to you.
Any more mail from either Travers or Anderson?
Not today. What about those two?
Well, I couldn't see anything in here that refers to Coulson in any way.
No, I couldn't see anything in them either.
Who censored these?
Meg.
Oh, well, she knows enough to report it if there had been any mention of Coulson. I'll inform Detective Sergeant Allen that these are clear. You can give them back to Birdsworth.
Very well. Oh, could you authorise this for me?
Wentworth Detention Centre. Yes. All right. Mrs. Devlin's here to see O'Connell. She's waiting in the garden.
Would you attend to that, please, Miss Bennett?
Yes.
Well, if there's pen and paper in here, I can't find it.
Oh, nor can I.
Seem to have vanished into thin air.
And that's not all that's vanished into thin air. The play's missing, too.
Who'd want to steal that?
Well, you seem to think it was a pretty stupid idea. Maybe you did.
Not me.
Can't see myself writing all that again.
Birdsworth, you can have these back now.
What are you doing with my letters?
The governor wanted to check them.
And you took them without even asking?
I don't have to ask you a thing, Birdsworth.
And that's not the only thing you took, is it, Vera?
I don't know what you're talking about, Smith.
I won't be able to remember all them words again.
Isn't that a shame? O'Connell, you've got a visitor. The rest of you will have to find another little hobby for yourselves. Come on, O'Connell. Mrs. Barry will take you outside.
One of these days I'll kill her. Be worth hanging for, that would. I worked real hard on that play, too.
If it's that important to Vera to stop the play, I'll help you write another one.
Would you?
Yeah. We'll put Vera and the screws in their place.
Oh, Mum, I'm so pleased to see you. I've been worried sick.
I couldn't come, Pat. You see, Andrew ran away from home. No, he's on his way home now and he's quite all right. But I didn't want to come and tell you until I knew that he was perfectly safe and well.
What happened?
Well, I've told you how cheeky he is with me.
Yes.
I just reached the end of my tether. I was really cross with him and, well, I suppose I said things I shouldn't have. He took my telephone money, bought himself a ticket and caught the train to Malakuta.
Malakuta? That's where we all went for a holiday a couple of years ago. The whole family. It's the last time we're all together and happy.
Anyway, the police found him this morning and he's being brought back.
Thank goodness for that. What about Emma? Is she all right?
Yes, a neighbour is looking after for me this afternoon. I thought she might get upset here without Andrew.
Mum, I know it's been difficult for you. But can't you hold on a little while longer?
Well, I just don't know if I can, Pat. My legs are aching all the time and the kids run me off my feet. Sometimes I feel as if I could just drop.
Have you seen the doctor?
Old Dr. Porter's retired and I don't like the new man very much.
I could give you the name of someone really good. Will you go?
Yes, I think I need to. I can't take it much longer. You've simply got to be out by Christmas, Pat.
I will be, Mum. I will be. I promise.
What are you doing?
You know the Christmas play Lizzie's been writing?
Yeah.
Well, Vera took it, and all the paper there was left. All except this.
So you're going to write it on that?
The only trouble is, if I take too much at a time, I won't be able to hide it on me. And they won't let me come in here too often.
Well, I can come in here whenever I want because I'm preggers. I'll nick it for you. For a price.
What's the price?
You write something in the play for me. Something that'll really get up Vera's nose.
You're on.
Good morning.
Hello?
May I come in?
Oh, yes. Mind the floor. It's still wet. Didn't think we'd be seeing you for a while.
Well, maybe I was a bit abrupt yesterday.
Maybe you were.
Well, I was rather upset.
We were all upset. Thanks for your help.
I wasn't the only one who helped.
What do you mean?
Meg Jackson told me that she censored that last letter that Doreen sent to Lizzie. It seems there was a reference in it which could have linked you with Rosalind. Meg censored it out. If it had been more direct, you would have had to report it, but seems it was a fairly oblique reference.
But enough to arouse suspicion.
Well, I would think so, yes. Anyway, that would seem to be an end to it all.
I certainly hope so. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Yeah, thanks. I've just got time. I was wondering,
Yeah,
are you still seeing Angela Jeffries?
now and then.
Could you have a chat with her? There's something I want her to find out for me.
What do you want to know?
Whether or not Pat O'Connell is going to get her parole.
That's a difficult one, Greg. They don't let them know until the last minute. Why do you want to know that?
Well, Pat's mother, Mrs. Devlin, came to see me yesterday. She's really not well enough to keep looking after Pat's children. It seems there's a chance that Pat could be paroled at Christmas. If Mrs. Devlin could know for certain, it would make things so much easier for her.
I'll do all I can, but I don't know whether Angela can get that sort of information.
Ask her to try?
Okay.
Oh, hello, Doc. I thought it was that real nice reporter. He's been round a fair bit lately, hasn't he, Karen?
Don't you think it's a little bit dangerous to go talking to reporters at this moment?
Well, he wasn't going to print anything on the Rosalind business.
Well, if you think you can trust a journo, you're crazy.
Oh, I reckon Karen can trust this one. He's real dishy.
Don't be silly, Doreen.
Oh, go on, you like him, I could tell. She went real red when he came round the other day.
Did not.
I think I'd better be getting back to the surgery.
But what about your coffee?
Well, you and Doreen can drink that. Or maybe your dishy reporter will call in.
Now, this is becoming a habit. Why did you go and do that? You were trying to deliberately upset him, weren't you?
No, I was just doing you a favour. He's nuts about you, and he hasn't done anything about it, has he? So I thought if I could just make him a bit jealous, it might just do the trick.
It was a silly idea.
Oh, God, you gave me a start. I thought you were Vera. Look, I found that in the maternity wing. Do you reckon we could use it for costumes or something?
Yeah, terrific. Thanks, Chrissy, that's great. I'll put it in here for now.
Oh, yeah. Here, look, I've got to go. I'll see you later.
I'll take that, Coulson. Give it to me.
Mrs. Davidson said we could write a play.
She wants to clear the script first, so no doubt this little lot will end up where it belongs.
Karen? Are we going to put up any decorations, you know, for Christmas?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because in this magazine, they tell you how to make these real good things just out of bits and pieces. It wouldn't hardly cost anything. What are you doing that's so important?
Oh, it's for Alex Fraser. He's interested in doing a story on the problems of women in prison, so I thought I'd give him one.
What's it about?
Pat O'Connell, and how important it is that she gets her parole.
You're going to help her?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you wouldn't help Roz, but you're going to help Pat. How do you figure out who your mates are?
Well, it's not particularly a matter of friendship, Doreen. If I can help any of the women from Wentworth, I will, as long as it's within the law. So I've decided to help Pat get her parole. Understand?
What possessed Rosalind to write on this, I shall never know. But the script itself has my approval.
Your approval?
Yes, completely. It pokes a little fun at us, but only gently. There's nothing we can really object to. In fact, it's quite innocuous. Erica Davidson speaking. Yes. I see. Well, in that case, it will be all right. Yes, thank you. Pat O'Connell's mother's here again to see her.
But she was here only yesterday.
Yes, I know, but apparently she wants to see Pat urgently. Anyway, I've given my permission. What do you think of that so far?
Well, it does seem pretty tame compared to last year's.
What's so funny?
Oh, it's the Christmas play. You ought to hear what it says about Vera. The old bitch will have a heart attack.
Well, if it's that bad, it'll never get past Mrs. Davidson.
Probably already has. That Roz, she's got real brains. She sent in another version, one the Screws wouldn't get upset about.
It's a bit risky, isn't it?
Nah, she's right. She's too smart for him. Here, have a read of that.
Since when does it take two of you to make a bed?
Sorry, Miss Bennett.
You can leave that there. You've got a visitor. Again. And straighten up that bed, Latham. It's full of wrinkles.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
This is great stuff, Karen. I mean, Mrs. Travers.
Oh, no, it's okay. Call me Karen. Do you think you'll be able to write a story from it and get it printed in your paper?
Well, if it was up to me, it'd be in tomorrow's edition.
What's the problem?
Well, the editor may not think it's important enough, and, well, if something more sensational comes along, this will lose out. But it'll get in eventually when we've got space to fill.
It really is very urgent. If that woman isn't paroled soon, her mother won't be able to look after her children. To have any effect, that story should be published within a couple of days.
I can't promise.
But you will try, won't you?
Yes. Yes, of course I will.
And the doctor said if I don't keep off my feet, I'll have to have an operation.
Oh, but it's such a short time, Mum, and then I'll be able to take the kids off your hands.
But what if you don't get your parole badge? You can't be sure about it, can you?
Well, there's no reason why I shouldn't.
You don't know for certain, though, do you?
As good as.
Is that correct, officer? Will Pat be paroled by Christmas?
There's no guaranteeing it. I mean, even if she does get a parole, it could be weeks before she's released. These things do take time, you know.
There you are, love. I just can't go on the way I am. I have to consider my health.
Oh, but Mum...
Unless you're out by next week, Pat, I'll have to put Emma and Andrew into a home.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.